How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful day, and today I would like to talk about the Juggernaut. Go over some basics, some tips and tricks if you would, just a general idea of the class, what it's capable of, and what it all is about. So one of the first things about the Juggernaut that I noticed is they are very similar to Terror Knights, because they have skills that debuff and they have skills that remove buffs. And they can generally wreak some havoc on the front lines and significantly weaken enemies, make them more vulnerable, make them unable to move, make them, just all kinds of chaos on the front lines. Kind of like what a Terror Knight does, and they do have similar stats. Some of their stat growths appear to be a little bit better, like strength and vitality seem to be a little bit better than on a Terror Knight, but they definitely play similar to a Terror Knight, except they don't have fear. They have other methods of causing chaos on the front line. They can be kind of tanky as well. So let's take a look at them. Let's see what we got. So here we are. Now keep in mind that only lizards, lamia, and orcs can be juggernauts. They're non-humanoid. So for the weapon variety, we got a pretty good deal. We got bows, spears, hammers, blowgun. The good. There you go, all the good stuff there. HP, MP up. We have steadfast, grants immunity to knockback. We got siege. Resist Petrify, resist Charm. Siege can be good, especially if you're trying to get through a front line of tanks or other units that have Rampart Aura, namely other Terror Knights, Knights, you name it, stuff that has that. Now here's where things get unique. We have 3 skills that are pretty unique to this class, and we will look at them here. I find the one to be the least interesting is Intimidate, but it can also be good. Intimidate will remove a skill condition from an enemy, which means it can remove buffs within 2 tiles. So and the AI doesn't really buff that much or do a lot with buffing, but hey, if they did, this would be very useful. And they do buff to a degree, I guess, if they have like certain conditions, but it's pretty rare to see a lot of buffs on the enemy. Then these are the 2 good ones. So we have Threaten, which will silence an enemy unit within 1 tile and reduce their MP by 25% of max. Super good. Just like some of the terror skills that Terror Knights have, Landing of the Dead, and there's another one. This is just an auto skill that will proc at the start of the turn, and if anybody's within that tile, they will be affected by it. Super good. Very good for if you're pushing mid-back line or you're pushing, casters and you need to silence them. Hey, silence is always good. But this is the one that I find the most interesting, and by far one of the best. You could justify using the class just for this. Stop. So for those of you that don't know what Stop does, basically it halts TP restoration unless the afflicted target takes damage. So it's basically like Sleep, but better in a way. So their RT counter is frozen, and they won't get another turn until the condition wears off or is removed. So, you can really do some crazy things with Stop, especially on frontline units. And it does have a higher... I find Stop to be more... I don't know if I want to say successful, but more easily reliable than Sleep. And I'm okay with that. So the fact that you can stop the front line, you can silence the front line or the back line, or use these on whatever, anything closely engaged to the Juggernaut is super helpful, super good. We got good weapon variety. You can combo pretty well with some other classes. I mean, if you get a Terror Knight and a Juggernaut on the front line, I mean, that can be, and then you have some other things to back them up. I mean, I'd even say throw a Knight out there too, just to lock stuff down so it can't move away from everything. And then the only thing this thing's lacking is if it had Rampart Aura, which it doesn't. But I can see why it doesn't, but that's the only thing I wish the Juggernaut had. It would be even more crazy. But it is a great frontline unit. It is a great non-human class. It mixes really well. I mean, I know people that make non-human armies, and they run these guys, and they speak nothing but highly of them. They do have the problem, though, like the Terror Knight. You can see the RT is 102 up there. If we go look at our Terror Knight boys, 109. So they do have the high RT cost issue that Terror Knights have to a degree. It's not as bad, but it's still up there. Their RT, which can, for some people that are min-maxing RT gurus that love to have all the RT to themselves, this can be a deterrent. But do keep in mind they have okay movement, and they do have access to, you know, good armor types. They're not pretty much locked behind on what they can or can't use, you know, so that's always a good thing. But overall, I would have to say that they are a solid class, especially if you can get them early on in the game. A lot of these, like, non-human classes, they really shine, like Chapter 3, Chapter 4. Then obviously as you get further in the game, they're not as impactful because you keep getting more and more classes. So like the idea is the sooner you can get a class, the more impact it has in the game. And then obviously as time goes on, that class you could have got a long time ago. Now there's newer ones that are even better. You know how that is. But overall, it's a really good class. I like it. I think it's fun. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. So hopefully this video is a good overview, just a good basic idea of what the class can do, what it's capable of, just some basics. And hopefully you guys give it a try if you haven't, or let me know what you think. So yeah, let me know. Do you guys like the class? Is it fun? Do you use it a lot? Or do you just prefer to use other classes that maybe do things better? Let me know down below in the comments. I appreciate all the love and support, guys. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later, guys. Peace.